Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs, and this is day 3 of our Christmas Craft Along series. Let's see, if you haven't checked out the 2 previous days, here are the projects. We made a box and a card on Monday, a different box and a card on Tuesday. So each day in my blog post, I'll have a link back to the previous days, so they're easy to find in case you miss a day. Today we're going to make 2 cards, and I feel like today's cards are more on the simpler end. So these are perfect for mass production. If you're going to make like 50 Christmas cards, you want something, well, I want something simple. I know some of you are like, okay, 50 cards, challenge accepted. But for me, I want them very simple. So today's cards aren't very simple, but they're simpler, I think, than what we've done in the last 2 days. So they're good for mass production. Okay, we're gonna not use the Jolly Holly. Have I been saying that wrong the whole time? Holly Jolly? I think I have. Jolly Holly bundle. So I'm gonna set that out of the way, but you are gonna need your Jar of Joy stamp set and your matching Sweetest Jar Builder punch. If you have the kit, I'm gonna show you what pieces to pull out here in a second. The PDF, let's talk about the PDF. I'll just give you the spiel. How about that? 5 of my friends and me have come together, designed 12 Christmas projects. They're all typed up in a PDF. They include the supply list, the measurements, and written instructions, as well as photos. This PDF is going to go to anybody who shops with me this week for free. If you spend over $50, pre-tax and ship, and after you've subtracted any Stampin' Rewards, then you're going to get this PDF as well as my All-Star Tutorial PDF for free. If you're not going to shop with me, maybe you're a demonstrator or you have your own demonstrator, that's totally fine. It's available in my PDF store for $25. The kits are sold out. I have been getting some questions about that. Every time we do this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut extra kits, and I cut extra kits, and then I sell them before we even start. So maybe I need to make more extra kits. But anyway, the kits are sold out. Sorry about that. But you can still get the PDF and craft along with us. Okay, let's see. The inks that we need today are Early Espresso. We need Cherry Cobbler, Pecan Pie, Pool Party. And then you're going to need Pool Party Stampin' Blends, Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends. We need Memento ink, and then a Pumpkin Pie marker. So we're going to color that nose again. So you can either use a Stampin' Write marker or Stampin' Blend. For the second project, I think the colors are the same. Let's look. Early Espresso ink, Pecan Pie ink, Pool Party, and Cherry Blend, and Memento ink. Yeah. Okay, so let's pull out our cardstock. The first card is on a white card base. So we've used our regular white this week, but this time we want to pull out that thick white. Thick basic white is for your card bases, okay? And then we need Early Espresso. Now, have we used Early Espresso before yet, you guys? This is my little scrap bin, and those of you that got the kit, you should have a little bin also. I don't think we've used Early Espresso yet, so we will grab Early Espresso right here. Basic, and we need regular basic white, and I think I have scrap, so we're going to use that from yesterday. And then the second card also is going to use thick basic white, so we can get 2 card bases from that one piece. Also Early Espresso, regular basic white, Cherry Cobbler cardstock, which I have right here, and I think what you need is the circle from your die cuts. Okay, so I've sent you a circle. So this is 2 3/8 circle punch with Cherry Cobbler. And then need for Tweed Designer Series paper. And we need this pattern right here. And then we need also this pattern. Doesn't this take you like back to like the 80s, maybe the 70s, this pattern? It just immediately took me back to my childhood home from that time. I don't know if we had anything like that, but for whatever reason, it reminds me of that time. Okay, let's get our trimmer. You gotta grab your trimmer. And we'll start with our card bases, okay? So we're gonna make 2 card bases out of this. Let me move all of this out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and score it and then cut it. I'm gonna score it at 4 1/4. Park the dark. You just want your scoring tool. and then turn it to 5.5, and now you want to use the dark one. Okay, so we've got our 2 card bases. We're going to cut this piece to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Ooh. And then the second piece, I am looking on the second page of my PDF for this project, in case you're following along. We need early espresso that is 4 1/4 by 3. That's going to be our mat. So 4 1/4 by 3. In case you are wondering, I always get questions about this. Right here, I added some tape, some blue painter's tape behind right here. It helps to see the measuring on that side easier, in case you have trouble like I did. You could use washi tape too, but I just used what I had. Okay, back to our cutting. And then this one needs to be 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. So 7/8 by 4 1/8. So let's make sure our cutting is right. Yes. All right. Excellent. All right. I think that's all the cutting we need to do for that card. For the second card, we really only need a scrap of early espresso for the lids, and everything else is white. Okay, so let's put all of that away. And let's look at our first card. Now, this card I love. Ange designed this card, and I love that she put these score lines here. This is a great way to add a little something. Whoops, I am dropping everything. This is a great way to add a little something to just a plain white card base. All right, so you can use your trimmer, but I'm going to use my Simply Scored. And we're going to add, let me go back to, I got to make sure I get the measurements right. We're going to add a score line. Are you ready? I'm not ready. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. At 1/2 inch, right here, at 3/4 of an inch, and at 1 inch. So we just did them at a 1/4 inch intervals, 1/2 inch from the bottom. All right, and then you just want to burnish your card, and there you go. All right, now, let's see. Got to turn the air down, getting kind of hot in here. I think that's a song, isn't it? Okay, let's stamp our jars. And we're going to use early espresso this time. So 3 jars. And we played around yesterday with our gingerbread man. So hopefully you feel a little more confident about stamping the 2-step stamping. Hopefully I won't need the extra jar. But you know what? I think I will go ahead and do it because we're going to need a jar for the next project. You know, let's just do all of our stamping at once. We're going to do 2 of the gingerbread guys, okay? So let's start, and this is a little bit different than what I showed you yesterday. We're going to use early espresso for that shadow. Let's see, what did we decide? I think we decided the shadow first was best. I can't remember, but we're going to go for it. All right, so early espresso for the shadow. It looks like nothing on your block, but then when you stamp it, you can really see what it is. All right, and then pecan pie. Gotta get that lined up. There we go. Nice. All right, now grab your cherry cobbler. Now we're gonna do the little ornaments. And cherry cobbler. That didn't stamp great, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna leave it. All right, and then our snowman, we've used him quite a few times. While your cherry cobbler is open, stamp his little hat and scarf in cherry cobbler. Then let's grab our cherry cobbler light Stampin' Blend. And we're going to color in these hearts. I like this little detail right here. Just adding a little bit of color, additional color to our image. All right. Now, this is a fun trick that you can do. Take your light pool party and just go along the edges of your image. It's going to create just kind of a light shadow, okay? just a little bit of a light shadow. And I like to just kind of tap. I don't want to be real heavy, so I'm just kind of picking up my marker as I go. We'll do this down here. This one we have more real estate to add. All right, and then we can kind of go around these. Try not to get close to, try not to touch your cherry cobbler ink because it will bleed in. So just kind of stay on the outside edge. I think I caught mine just a little bit. Okay, and then this one, add in some snow, some blue. We can add a little bit more here. I feel like blue, we need a little bit more for the snow. Okay, all right, take your pumpkin pie, color in the nose, get your pool party ink pad. I hope I cleaned mine. Let's see, did I clean it? I did, okay. And we're gonna do pool party snow. All right, I think that's it. Now let's punch them out with our sweetest jar punch. Have you fallen in love with this punch yet? I used it for our In Color Club and just loved it. It's so fun. I feel like it's very whimsical. It's really a lot of fun. All right, now let's do the lids. We need 4 lids, and we're gonna do those also in early espresso. And remember yesterday I said, go along the edge of your paper. That way you're not going to waste a lot of paper, because if you did it up and you went to punch it, you're gonna lose that paper. So if we just do it here on the edge, then we really haven't lost very much paper. And one more. There we go. All right, let's glue these on. You can use glue dots if you want, but I'm just gonna take my liquid glue and just kind of scribble it on. Now there's a little trick I learned last week in our virtual album retreat. If you give that glue a couple of minutes, it becomes kind of tacky and it won't smear around. So why don't we do that? Let's wait a minute and see how if that works a little bit better. All right, grab your early espresso ink pad again, and this time we're gonna use Sending a Jar Full of Cheer right above that last line on the right side, okay? Let's stamp the sentiment on our DSP for the next card, again in early espresso. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Okay, we can go ahead and put those together. Let's close our ink pads. Let's do that because, you know, yesterday I got ink on my sample card. I do that a lot. All right, it looks like it becomes kind of opaque, less white. And then when you put this down, you don't get that sliding around slippery feeling. It just sticks down. The green glue is actually repositionable. So the directions on the back of the glue, if you have really good eyesight and you can read them, it says that you can leave it like that, let it dry, and then it just kind of is movable around on your projects, which I think is really, really cool. All right, now let's grab some dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start on the outside. Look, there's a little bit of ink right there. It never fails. I can't seem to not get ink on everything. I need to go wash my hands. That's the problem. All right, how cute are they? Oh my gosh, this card is so cute. All right, grab your green, your Mossy Meadow ribbon. And we're gonna tie this up here at the top. And one thing I always do is take this and turn it. See how it was kind of sticking out, but I turn it so that that is flat. And then try to hold that in place. And when you pull through your loop, make sure it's not twisted either. That will help your bow be formed correctly. Bow tying takes practice. I've tied thousands of bows. That's really cute. Okay, did we need some dots? Yes. We've got the green dots, the low profile dots. So let's put, I like the little cluster of 3 down here. So 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, that's not straight. Uh-oh, are we stuck? Let's see if we can get that off and get it to come down just a bit. There we go. All right, now what about the inside? Do you feel like we should do something on the inside? What if I feel like the simplest thing to do would be the little snowman in the corner. Let's do a little scarf. Oops. Hat band and scarf. And his nose. Can you guys see that? And then we'll take our light pool party and just kind of add in some shadow around him like that. And I'm going to switch over to my bullet in and just kind of add in a little bit of snow like that. Oh, well, you know, I mean, we could do some snow also. There we go. Cute. Very cute. All right, there's your first card. That would be a good one to make lots of, don't you think? All right, now this one is super easy too. Let's get our pieces. So here's your white card base. And we're gonna put that there. Now before we stick this on, grab your red and white baker's twine. And I'm gonna take it and just crisscross it a couple of times like that. You know, let's see. Did I get enough? No, I didn't. Okay, hold on, let me start. We need to have a bunch over on this side so that we end up over here. And then like that. Okay. Tie a little bow. Twine doesn't behave as much as ribbon does. It's a little naughty when you try to tie it. All right, dimensionals again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will flip that. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're going to put on our red circle, and I kind of have it hanging over like that. Oops, I don't need 3 dimensionals for this. I think 2 would suffice. And then we'll put that right there. And then let's do some more dots. We have a lot of dots, so let's use them. 1, 2, 3. All right, should we do anything on the inside of this? You know what we could do? We have a lot of that paper. This paper right here. What if we? I've been doing this a lot lately, and I really like it. Let's take this and cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. You know, if you're like me, you hoard your paper. And that feels like it's really short. Did I cut that too short? No, that's right. And then I think, why am I hoarding my paper? Let's use our paper, you guys. All right, now get another, like a neutral color. Let's use basic beige. And I'm gonna cut it to 3 1/2. Oops, you know what is this? Oh, let's do 4.5 by 3 1/4. Let's do that. 4.5 by 3 1/4. And then we could we'll put this one, this texture, like that. And then we could put this one like that, so we have a little message. So then you've carried over that design on the inside. Okay, you guys, we're done. We are done for the day. Now I've got 2 more projects to make. Remember to, if you're watching on YouTube, go back to my blog for all the details. Click the links to check out the 2 previous days, and then I will have 2 more projects for the next 3 days. We have 6 days of Christmas projects. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Remember, if you put in an order that is more than $50, I'm going to send you the PDF for free. And also, July 23rd through 25th, Stampin' 20. I should put a caveat on that. 2025. I don't know when you're watching this. Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping on all orders over $75. So free shipping, free PDFs. All right, you guys have a great day. Happy stamping. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.